Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about REDSIGHT by Meredith Mooring. REDSIGHT is a debut science fantasy space opera in the tradition of Star Wars and Dune, these really sort of grand mid-20th century science fiction novels where the entire galaxy is controlled in an empire and there are priestly orders and strange, uncanny, sort of hypnagogic magic, and it is just a great gonzo time. It's the sort of space opera that you just let wash over you and enjoy the grandeur of it, the star-eating space snakes and priestly orders, and just the effervescent brilliance and delight in a science fiction and science fantasy story. It's the story of Corinna, a red seer who is a visually impaired, a blind priestess who has the ability to manipulate tactile energy in space, used as a navigational tool. And she is a priestess in one of three orders of priestesses, these sort of generative and entropic and manipulative ways of approaching this energy that pervades the universe. And reminiscent also of some of the really great old Dragonlance novels for me, in these like red, white, and black orders. And just very, very fun sorts of ways of playing with the energy of this universe. It is it's a thoughtful novel, but also a sort of wild romp of an energetic story. If you like exploring, big, bold science fiction and strange acid trip magic and sapphic desire and explorations of disability and or alternative ability and magic, the ways in which we shape the universe through our sensory perception of it, and again, snakes eating stars and strange cultic temples in space stations, then I think you're going to find a lot that you enjoy in REDSIGHT. I certainly did. And so, of course, we had to have a drink inspired by the book. Our drink today is the Umbra. It is a stirred cocktail, sort of in the tradition of a Negroni, a Boulevardier, but a little bit darker, a little bit richer. And we're going to get started with 1 ounce of Scotch whiskey. I'm using a blended Scotch, the Bowmore 12 today. I believe that's a blended. Certainly it's an Islay, it's a single malt. In any case, it plays better with others than some of our other scotches that we've used here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. And with this sort of drink, we don't want that super assertive punch, that peaty punch that many scotches have. We want something that's going to be a little friendlier, a little more blending, while still being distinctive. So the Bowmore 12 works really well here. I'm going to get 1 ounce of Campari, this bittersweet liqueur, very red, appropriate for REDSIGHT, and for this sort of order of Vermicula, this goddess of the red seers. It's like blood dripping down their eyes when they're using this magic. It's very visual, very fun, very cool. And I know that I personally would prefer a little Campari dripping down my cheeks than blood streaming from my eyes, but mileage varies. And then we're going to have some rich, dark creme de cacao. That dark chocolate, that fruitiness, that black hole in space, and 1 ounce of that into our mixing glass. So we're getting this bittersweetness, this redness, this chocolate, this edge of smokiness and light, and then we're going to bring in as a final note, to balance things out, a few dashes of grapefruit bitters. As always with bitters, easy to add more, hard to add less. I like that bit of bittersweet grapefruit punch, that citrus peel, but if, you aren't a big fan of that, start with maybe 1 or 2 dashes, and if you want an extra little punch of it, because we do have some assertive ingredients here, then feel free to go up to 3 or 4, and suit to your own personal palate. Alright, now that we've got all of our ingredients in the mixing glass, we'll get our ice in there. Whoop! Ice on the move. There we go. And give it a stir. You're going to want to stir for about 20 seconds or so, or until the ice and the liquid are roughly at equilibrium, because you do want everything to blend. You want balance. And this is sort of one of the things that the novel is thinking about, is the pursuit of balance and the exploration of disorder as a result of imbalance. We're going to give that a nice solid stir. There we go. Take our rocks glass here, and while I'm stirring, get that prepped with a nice large ice cube. Perfect. There we go. That's looking good. Julep strainer. Get that hooked over there, and strain into our prepared glass. Perfect. So there you have it. This is the Umbra, inspired by REDSIGHT by Meredith Mooring. The Umbra is a nice, rich, red, stirred cocktail. REDSIGHT is a thrilling, dark, space fantasy adventure, and the book is available now. I've got a link to snag the book in the description below. A huge thank you to the publisher Solaris for sending me an early copy so that I could celebrate it on the book's release day. We have got links to various forms of social media, including Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, where there is always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit that like button. It makes me so very happy when you do. Have a great rest of your February. It's a leap year, so we get an extra day of February. So fun. And we will be back in March with whole new episodes of Bar Cart Bookshelf for the spring. Cheers.